This is Jimmy. He's a dot. His hobbies include pediatrics and swing dance. And for him, it's hard to imagine that less than 200 years ago, the site of the original Waldorf building was a small field on Manhattan Island Farm. New York was growing and began to move up into the old farmlands. William B. Astor purchased the land in 1827, and in 1859 the Astor family built their homes on the lot. As construction began to move uptown, Astor replaced his home with the original Waldorf Astoria hotel. Upon construction, Jimmy thought it was too far uptown, but eventually it became the city's social center. In the early days, Park Avenue, then known as 4th Ave, was called Railroad Alley, where the New York Central Railroad ran into the city and was lined with breweries, factories, and other unsightly buildings, which together created an undesirable area of the city. The present site of the Waldorf Astoria itself was occupied by the New York Central Powerhouse, YMCA, Adams Express, and a Schaefer Brewery. What brought this incredible change was the creation of the Grand Central Terminal from 1903 to 1913, and the relocation of the entire terminal and railway yard below street grade and on 2 track levels. Once the terminal was completed, the rest of the valuable real estate was made available for buildings over the tracks. Shops and businesses moved uptown, and the old Waldorf was considered to be in an inconvenient location. The present site at Park Avenue was chosen because of distance from the New York Central Railroad, allowing easy access for both travelers and high-class residents. The hotel has a private track under the building that guests who have private cars can arrive by. The location positions the guests at the center of shopping and entertainment. Jimmy the New Yorker remembers back in 1931 the construction of the Waldorf. The Waldorf Astoria is a steel skyscraper clad in granite, brick, and limestone. Jimmy could tell the steel framing construction method permitted flexibility in designing both the building's footprint and the internal spaces of the hotel. The building's simple design approach created 4 18-story pavilions with wide, light courts facing north and south from a low base occupying the entire site. Rachel enters from Park Avenue and ascends a broad marble staircase to a cavernous foyer, the hotel's main public reception area. There is a constant flow of people in the space, some coming, some going, others ascending the adjoining low staircases that lead to the dining room terraces. From here, Rachel continues into the main lobby. She looks around at this city within New York. She notices the materials inside the rooms, the discourse between the marbles and exotic woods, painted murals, decorative rugs, an ornamentation of bronze, silver, copper, a museum of precious metals. After Rachel is checked in and is waiting for her room to be prepared, she explores the hotel. She travels in a loop around the lobby, which acts as its own Broadway for the hotel, circulating guests to shops, restaurants, and lavish halls. The architects wanted to separate different classes of people. The social venues were placed near Park Avenue, and on the less fashionable Lexington Avenue are the restaurant, grill, coffee shop, and men's barber shop. The lobby, which is the center of operations, was placed in the middle, surrounded by lounges and small shops that act as a transition space between the two halves. In between the restaurant and the public spaces are offices, kitchens, storerooms, and other service spaces that are mostly kept out of sight. As Rachel finishes circulating, she enters the famous Peacock Alley, a wide corridor with couches and chairs that has become a gathering space. The name comes from the old Waldorf, where people used to stroll up and down the hallway to show off to the public, like the flaneurs of Paris. From here, Rachel enters the passenger elevator and travels up to her room on the 12th floor. Here we find Sebastian using the private driveway running through the building from 49th to the 50th Street to enter the hotel. Resident elevators take him up to his room on the 34th floor. The architects wanted the hotel to feel less like a hotel, more like a home. So to avoid mass production, they hired 13 interior designers to furnish each room individually. Most of the rooms are decorated in either 18th century French or English styles. The home-like feeling is enhanced by a kitchen on the 19th floor where guests can order classic American home-cooked meals. The residences and long-term rooms come in a variety of sizes depending on a person's needs. Sebastian chose the Cole Porter Suite, a 5-bedroom suite with a kitchen, dining room, living room, and so on. Bigger home than a standard American house. His room is an expression of the elegance and grand nature of the Waldorf.
This is Boomer, the manager of the Waldorf. He's been in charge of the operations of the Waldorf Astoria for 10 years now and the operation of the bustling machine that is so well hidden from the guests.
His day begins in the employee locker room where he prepares himself for the day. He then moves downstairs to check systems on the utility floor, the lowest floor, which provides lighting, heating and ventilation for the entire hotel. The hotel produces enough steam to operate 800 homes. This is also where the massive incinerators dealt with the majority of the hotel's garbage. From there he does a quick morning sweep of the massive kitchens. Though this is the largest kitchen in the Waldorf, it's not the only one. Several kitchens are placed throughout the hotel in optimal locations. These kitchens had to serve transient guests, permanent residents, and the general public. The kitchen serves 6,000 pounds of prime beef and 2,500 pounds of fish each day. The main kitchen was connected to the rest of the building through the pantries extending to the floor above and below. After cleaning the main lobby for any debris, Boomer boards the ballroom elevators and assists in cleaning the ballroom after last night's lavish celebrations.
From here, Boomer boards the service elevator to the 18th floor where he checks and prepares the Canadian Club, the Junior Club, and the Starlight Room for his evening events. Boomer routinely calls the service areas of his hotel on the Waldorf's massive and essential telephone infrastructure, which has the capacity to support a city of 50,000 people. The Waldorf Astoria was designed to be technically sophisticated and profitable, and still have distinction and elegance that could attract upper-class guests who could afford premium prices. In the words of Herbert Hoover, "But it is a good deal more than a mere roof under which we eat and sleep. It is a community center as well, a place where the heads of great cooperative activities in science, art, business and labor assemble for the service of a country. A meeting ground where individuals gather from 1,001 directions, not only for recreation, but for more serious engagements. The Waldorf Astoria, while serving well in such capacities, has likewise become a prime exponent in the ancient art of hospitality."